Hi everyone. So how are you tonight for this AMA? So I will be hosting this AMA today. This is an AMA special about the Martia Token staking. We have received a lot of questions and very good questions. And I will invite now Hunter and Tom to join me. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Doing great.
Yeah, doing good. Cheers.
Okay. So we have tonight, so as I said, a lot of questions for about an hour, and then we will end with a giveaway amongst the numerous questions we receive. We will choose 3 people who will get a gift from Colonize Mars. So I propose we start immediately with the first question, if you are ready.
Yeah, crack on.
Yeah, okay. So, first question. Will we be able to buy or exchange the oxygen, water, food, and other resources? Can we just stake or accumulate at first? And is staking the only way to receive these resources?
Okay, so the resource tokens will be similar to the Martia token. So they're going to be blockchain tokens, and they'll belong to the players. Players can do with them as they want. So for now, it's just stake and accumulate. Then when resource gameplay launches, you'll be able to earn them from the appropriate cards if you provide the necessary inputs. So they'll still be kind of yours to own and do with as you want.
Yeah, and we think it'll be a pretty cool, it'll be a very vibrant economy. We'll have lots of these resources. There'll be a really interesting kind of educational component to it, people understanding what the resources are for. And of course, all of the items are designed to use the real aerospace technology. So we're modeling a lot of the resource tokens after the resources you would need on Mars. So yeah, it's going to be kind of fun to have all those in your possession and expend them in different ways. Basically consume them in different ways and produce them in different ways.
Okay, great. So next question. Will there be a limit to how many different pools we can stake to and how many times we can stake to a given pool? So can I stake different amounts of Martia simultaneously on one resource with different fixed staking times?
Okay, so answering them in order, will there be a limit to how many pools we can stake to? No, there is no limit, just the pools that exist. How many times we can stake to a given pool? You can stake as many times as you've got the Martia to do so. Yeah, as many times as you want, and it can be to the same pool. It can be to different pools. It can be for differing time lengths. So yeah, it's kind of up to the players to determine their own strategy of how long they want to stake for and how much they want to stake and to which pools. So yeah, I feel it'll open up a lot of opportunities for some differences between the player base to see how people manage this.
Yeah, that makes me think a lot. Strategies. Oh, okay. I will maybe elaborate a little bit and then. Okay. Next question. So, will the cards we own have an effect on how resources will be gathered?
Yeah. So the each card type will have its kind of own part of the kind of resource gameplay. So they'll have its own resource inputs, its own resource outputs, and they'll consume various resources and produce other resources in different quantities. And it'll also be affected by the rarity of your card too. So higher rarities will consume and produce more. But yeah, so it does differ. I'm just going to read the question again, sorry. Yeah, it will have an effect on how the resources will be gathered. So it's going to be, again, player choice about how you kind of manage your deck to maximize, hopefully, both your earnings and your enjoyment.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think to start, there, at least the way that I want to play it, and a couple of the people on the team, we're gonna probably have just it's gonna be fun to see like all the entire resource chain and kind of see how it's working, and then potentially get more strategic and more specific about which cards to collect and what kind of outcome we want, whether it's ice mining or food production or fuel production. I think eventually, players will probably start getting more and more specific with how they maximize like their time and the outputs that they create. So yeah, you could either kind of go broad and collect a few of all the different cards and manage the entire chain, or you could do something where you're a little bit more specific and kind of focus on one part of the chain.
Okay, so I think that already answered partly the next one, which is when resources are introduced and our NFTs are able to farm them, will they stop or lessen the production of Martia? Will the base or ownership cards still be producing Martia per hours along with resources?
Yeah, so there will be a baseline production of Martia regardless, but basically the way I think about it is right now, we have just a very simple mechanism where you're producing Martia on your cards. But when we introduce resources, this is really when the strategy and the fun begins. So what will happen is if you manage your resources accurately, you will be able to produce resources, but the amount of Martia that you're producing by default will be significantly less unless you're strategically managing your inputs and outputs. So we want this to be like more strategy, some skill involved, some management, regular management. Of course, it's a game, so it's about understanding the resource ecosystem of Mars, being able to kind of understand the inputs and outputs. So it's going to get more and more kind of challenging and strategic to keep your production of these various resources and Martia token to maximum efficiency. So yeah, it's going to be player choice. You'll be able to either produce a lot of Martia if you're managing your items efficiently, or a lot of resources, or kind of a mixture of both. We're kind of thinking like a slider or something like that, where you can decide, and that's going to help us balance the economy in a dynamic way. So yeah, I guess that hopefully summarizes it. It's not going to be as easy to produce Martia as it is now. It's going to be more strategic, more it's going to require an understanding of the science as well.
Great. So will there be future sales in-game for Martia token? And if so, when? This would seem to be valuable information into how to plan one strategy of where and how long to stake.
Yeah, so just to reiterate, the whole vision of the project is to really create a self-sustaining city on Mars using accurate aerospace technology and visualizing it in a compelling way. So the ultimate, goal is to create that full city, and we're definitely still at a very early stage with the development of the base. So with that being in mind, we'll probably have the next mission between like 3, 4, 5 months from now. We're really focusing on getting this first this gameplay release out. So the way I would think about staking right now is, if you want some of your Martia to, oh yeah, and the other part of the question is, will sales be in Martia? So there definitely will be ways to spend Martia in the store. We don't have the specific details on if it's going to be crates or something else in the store, or a combination, but there will be ways to spend Martia to expand your collection, to do various other things. So, if you want the opportunity to have some of your Martia to spend in the store, then I'd probably stake for, lesser time periods, maybe less than 3 months. If you, don't mind, you want your Martia to be producing more resources or Martia or a chance for NFTs, then maybe stake for longer periods. So it's really up to you, or you could do a combination of both. Maybe have some in reserve, have some in the staking pools. So that's kind of the fun of it. Maybe hopefully that gives a little answer to, like, probably looking at no less than 3 months for some more NFTs, but probably a little bit after that.
Okay, so next one. If I decide to only mine Martia and not at all earn the resources, in which way am I penalized for further gain? What are my options?
So if this is talking about staking, if you stake only for Martia, then yes, when the resource gameplay launches, all items, the majority of items are going to need resource inputs. So without those resources, it might be a bit of a slower start, but with your Martia, who knows what you might be able to do. You're not kind of penalized. The gameplay is going to revolve around resources. If you strategically manage that well, you will earn Martia, but just having Martia by itself won't get you that far.
Okay, and that's a question we often get again and again. So if the player possesses no resources like food or water, are astronauts or some other personalities gonna die? Or will resources impact the gameplay? So people are very worried about cards dying.
Yeah, maybe we start killing off cards. No, we don't. Cards won't die. If you don't have the required inputs for an item type, be that astronaut or building, it's not going to disappear. It will just only give out a kind of a baseline low level Martia output until you have the required inputs.
So will we be able to mix resources in the future that could eventually be obtainable with a crafting system?
Yeah, so the way that we're structuring it is the items themselves are the ones kind of converting inputs into outputs. So if you think of like the fuel generator, right? You're taking certain inputs, power, the atmosphere, you're converting that into fuel and oxygen. So it's really based on the science, and it's based on what are the inputs for items and how much output do they produce. So it's not necessarily like you're burning 2 resources to produce a brand new resource that hasn't been discovered yet. A lot of it will already be based on the science. So you'll have a good sense of what you can output, what you need to input. And our goal is really to educate people on the science needed to build a city on Mars. So hopefully players as they go get really, really experienced in understanding the different kind of subsystems in the city, how power generation works, how ice mining works, because I think it'll really like inspire people to see that going to Mars is actually very possible. The technology and the processes to do it aren't necessarily too complicated, and it can be really fun and interesting. And we also have a really cool story component that we're adding into it, which will be really fun and very immersive. So players will basically feel like they're part of a Humans to Mars program. So we're excited to share a little bit more about that soon. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be really fun, and you'll feel like you're actually contributing to a real Martian city.
Okay, great. With regards to resource staking, specifically oxygen, will it only be available through staking, or will you release an equipment producing oxygen, like the NASA Mars Oxygen In Situ Resource Utilization Experiment? I did it. In future missions?
Yeah, so I believe that's called Moxie. someone might have told me earlier.
That's easier.
That basically some of the items already in the colony will produce oxygen, or are producing oxygen, I guess, if we've got astronauts there already. For example, the fuel plant uses the same technology as Moxie, in which it uses, let's see if I get this right, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, power, and water to kind of break the water down, mix it with the carbon dioxide to make methane fuel and oxygen. So yes, the science behind it is real, and there are already oxygen generating items on there. Because greenhouses as well, can't forget them. The plants will be absorbing carbon dioxide from the Martian atmosphere. They'll already be lit and powered and heated and watered. So yeah, it's they will give out some oxygen from photosynthesis. So try not to sneeze. And yeah, so that's what the. So I've got hay fever. Just talking about plants is just doing me in. So there is oxygen. There might be some more items coming along in the future that add to it.
Yep.
Okay. So next one, will ice mining rigs be the only cards that can produce water? Are there plans to introduce other cards or methods to obtain it?
So kind of similar to the previous question, but at the moment, yes, the ice mining rigs are the only cards that produce water. We'll be able to acquire it through staking, but also future missions will bring up more items and different ways of generating water. The resource gameplay has kind of been balanced for a couple of missions times. So to begin with, like any colony that's establishing itself, there will be kind of bottlenecks, certain surpluses, shortages in the resource gameplay, in the resource kind of economy. So it'll be for players to kind of determine and work through and strategize. So yeah, looking forward to how it all pans out.
Okay, so in the last AMA, you said that we can be restaurant owners on Mars by staking food. So there will be a mission 4 NFT about restaurant.
So I think Hans mentioned it earlier, and I'll kind of say it again, that it's a long-term vision to make a full city on Mars. It's not just going to end with mission 3 or mission 4. So at some point when the colony is established enough to be able to support leisure and tourism, then yeah, we'll probably have restaurant cards and restaurants and maybe other items and buildings like that on Mars. But for now, it's more about survival. So yes, there probably will be a restaurant. No, probably not mission 4, or probably definitely not mission 4.
Okay. So we are more in a general question here. So there are so many staking games out there. What makes Martia Token Staking different from others?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, Martia Token Staking is something that's just it's kind of a very small feature for this game. It's something that we're just adding in as we continue to develop gameplay. And it's something that allows people to strategize, before we release resources and hazards and, some of the other elements that we have planned for later. So really, it's just another strategic element that we're adding in. We think it'll be fun. It's relatively, simple for us to put in, and we're going to be able to get it out pretty soon. And just to give everyone kind of a sense of the dates and sense of the timing, we think we'll be able to do this probably like the week of February 14th. So around that week, I think we'll be able to release staking. Devs looking really good. Designs are done. We're working really hard on it. And then, of course, we're continuing to work on other features in the background. So, we're working as fast as we can, getting stuff out. And yeah, it's just a small piece, right? We have the resources, which we've been discussing, hazards, which we showed some of the the ideas to that, and we're working on that as well. We also have some really cool things that we have planned for the map and the ways that we want to increase the immersion there. And so we want to share more about that soon, but one thing at a time. And so yeah, that's kind of hopefully gives a little bit of the timing and priorities. And staking, it's going to be a fun strategic thing to get started with, and we think people really like it, and it seems to have a really positive impact on the community. So we're excited to get that out quite soon.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll have a nice positive impact on the Martia economy itself. So yeah, looking forward to that myself.
Yeah.
Great. Will we be able to auto-stake Martia and through cash staking?
So we actually think that it's better to not do this. It is possible, but we think it's actually kind of cool to have this element where the player needs to intentionally choose how much Martia to stake, what time period, which pool, and just kind of do that in a way that's very intentional, I guess. And so we think that's actually more of a strategic and interesting gameplay feature. We want people to think about it. We want people to discuss it, trade strategies, figure out what's the most optimal way. And perhaps it's best to put a little bit in each pool and then see how much goes into one pool, and kind of figure out how can I maximize the amount of NFTs that maybe I can win, or maximize a certain resource so that I can be more of like a dominant player in that particular resource category. So there's going to be lots of different ways to do it, and I think it will actually be more fun to have it be more of like a manual thing.
Yeah, I'm looking at probably. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I'm probably gonna. Yeah, my strategy isn't a secret. Put a bit in each pool to begin with. See what other people do. Try to work out the odds of winning NFTs or getting Martia. Maybe follow the crowd. Maybe go the opposite way. But I'm probably gonna spread a fair bit around to begin with. And yeah, seeing all the messages, Valentine's Day. We said the week beginning the 14th. So it might be Valentine's Day. It's our Valentine's Day present to you. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So are rewards like the NFTs claimable each hour or just once the period ends?
Yeah, so we are still working through the final technical details on the NFT pool, but it will be that you can claim your NFTs before the staking period's done. This is different than the Martia rewards and the resource rewards, which we'd like to lock until the staking period's up, just to kind of stabilize the economy a bit there. But for the NFTs, it will be possible to claim them. We're working out if we can have them sent directly to wallets, or if there needs to be a claim process to that. So that's kind of what we're still finalizing. But regardless, you'll have your NFTs before the staking period ends. And then once the staking period ends for the NFT pool, you'll be able to claim the Martia back that you put in. So that's the only thing that will really be locked in that pool till the end of the staking period.
Okay. So what will happen when all the NFT from Mission 3 are used in the staking pool? Maybe.
Oh, Tom, I think you're muted.
Okay.
Again, I did that last time too. Sorry, I had my dog barking at the door as well. So apologies if he carries on doing that. So yeah, I was saying that before the pool is run dry with the Mission 3 NFTs, we will be adding in some others. This will be an allocation kind of from future missions as those missions happen. There'll also potentially be shiny new types of NFTs being added into there, but no details yet about what they are. So yeah, it will not run out. We will add things over time to keep it enticing and exciting.
Okay. So next question. Yeah, how to increase Martia staking with win percentage to earn ownership on sponsorship?
It is percentage chances of winning. The more you stake and for the longer you stake, the higher chance you have of winning. That's as kind of as simple. That's all there is to it, really.
Yeah, we all want ownership cards.
Yeah, we're going to keep piling them in there till I get them will work something out. Yeah.
But that's what's fun is that they're very rare, and yeah, the best way is to just stake more March to the pool, increase your percentage, and then you'll have a higher percentage of getting that NFT. So it's pretty simple, and there's some strategy behind it. Do you want to put all your March in that pool right away? Maybe get the first few rounds of NFTs, or do you want to wait and see how many people put it in and then decide? So yeah, it's going to be kind of different ways to go about it.
Okay, and yes.
I was just going to say, so I think someone's question that popped up was about getting the initial stake back again. So yeah, I'm not sure if we made that clear. But if you stake 1,000 Martia for 6 months, you'll kind of say earn interest every hour. At the end of the 6 months, you'll be able to claim back your initial 1,000 Martia and your interest. And that's the same with every pool, that you get your initial stake back at the end of the locking period, plus any interest that you've accrued, just in case some people weren't sure.
Okay. So next one, yes. How are staking rewards determined?
So yeah, we're going to have to release some articles and examples, some more examples of how the calculations happen before staking goes live. But as we've said, the simplest thing is that the more you stake for the longer period, the higher percentage of the pool you will have. So the more chance you have of getting an NFT, or the higher percentage of the hourly Martia you'll get. But this is going to change constantly as more people stake and more people unstake in the future. So it will be a dynamic moving amount that's calculated hourly. The actual Martia that's going into the Martia staking pool as the rewards, that'll be coming from the dev fee. But yeah, to kick off the resource feature, we'll be adding resource tokens to the pool as the prizes for each hour. And over time, when resource gameplay is in, then that will kind of be phased out, and it will be at the dev fee of the resource tokens feeding that pool as well.
So regarding the NFT pool and the earning at the start of each hour, so 5 NFTs at the start of each hour, what will happen to those who can't earn anything regarding the poor amount of Martia they staked? Do you have any compensation for them? If yes, what kind of compensation?
So as long as you put in any amount of Martia, you have a chance at winning. It really depends on the amount of chance. So even if it's just one Martia token that you put in the pool, you still have a chance at getting these NFTs. So yeah, I mean, really it's about your percentage chance. It's quite a simple formula. The more people that stake to it, the more that chance is spread around, and it will change based on once people start their staking periods start getting released. between 1 and 6 months when we release the feature. So yeah, it's something that it would be good to just continue checking it, seeing what your percentages will be. Your percentages will be all listed on the page, and you'll be able to check that in your profile whenever you want, and stake more Martia if you want. So yeah, it's really anyone can do this. You just need a little bit of Martia token, and you can have a chance.
Okay. So, do we have details on the distribution rate of ownership cards in the Martia NFT staking pool? So will it be like one ownership will be given every week, every month? What about the rarities of the other cards in the pool, and will they also have their own distribution rates?
So the rate we determine, and at the moment we've kind of said 5 a week, but the distribution, as in which of those are ownership or base cards, or that's entirely random. They're picked from the pool entirely randomly. If we have maybe, say, 20,000 NFTs in the pool and 10 of them are ownership cards, then each hour there's a 1 in 2,000 chance that it will be an ownership card. But there'll be 5 an hour, so it's 5 in 2,000, 1 in 400 chance, roughly, very roughly speaking, don't hold me to it, that it's that an ownership would get drawn per hour. So maybe 1 every fortnight, something like that.
Yeah, and the NFT pool will be the initial cards will be what, gold, dark matter, and ownership, right? So it's just those 3 types.
Yeah,
so
it's
pretty cool rewards.
They are, yeah. It is just gold, dark matter, or ownerships. So it is they are high value rewards.
Okay. How will you determine the winners of the NFTs per hour? Do you rate it by how much Martia tokens one has staked? Hopefully it's fair for everyone, from owning one standard card to a number of ownership cards. And I think it was already touched in some of the answers before.
Yeah, so it is fair that it's purely based on the amount of Martia you've staked and the duration you have staked for. And then it's randomly determined the more you have staked and the longer you've staked for, the higher chance you have. So yes, that's how we'll determine the winners. It will be randomly determined. However, saying all that again, it doesn't stop someone who's only staked 1 Martia from being the lucky winner. So yeah, just because someone has lots staked doesn't mean someone with a little amount isn't gonna win the prize.
Okay. So this one is more of a suggestion, finally. Would it be interesting to introduce a learn-to-earn system for newcomers? So you learn material concerning science in relation to colonization of Mars. You answer a question, and if you are at the top, you are lucky and you get NFTs or maybe a bit of Martia.
Yeah, so this is a great question, and of course, the education aspect is a big part of this project. There's going to be a learning curve on understanding the resources, and we're going to make it fun. We, like I said before, we have kind of a story around it, ways to gamify it, make it more of an immersive experience, which we'll be releasing. And so, yeah, there will be this learning aspect to the resources and understanding that. Regards to the second part, the answer questions at the top. So yeah, this is an interesting idea. We can think about it. Of course, with every feature we add, there's a lot of consideration. Of course, this is a new space. There's things like botting, multi-accounting. We need to be very careful about features where we're just having people answer questions. So there need to be some consideration. We're really trying to keep this, kind of simple, very engaging, very fun to start, and then we can add some enhancements to it as we go. But yeah, just to reiterate, learning and understanding the science of Mars is super important, and will definitely be a part of what we do.
Okay. So we already reached the last one, so it was faster than I thought. When did the idea to create the project begin? Who initiated it? And what is the biggest goal your project has toward the end of 2022? And what are your project goals for the next 10 years in the crypto world? So that's long term.
Yeah. Well, no, it's an awesome question. And the project really started with this belief that our future is multiplanetary, like that humanity should go to Mars one day in the near future, because going to Mars can be one of the most important undertakings of our lifetime. It's going to help us answer fundamental scientific questions. It's going to help satisfy just the innate human curiosity, and also help us innovate. There's going to be new inventions, new technologies that come from being on a planet, being required to live in a self-sustainable way, which we're integrating into our gameplay, and there'll be some really cool ways for visualizing that. I think also it's going to really inspire younger generations. Like, if you can tell every kid in school, like, learn your science and you can become an explorer of a new world, like, that is going to just change the world, I think. So the project really started because we felt like there needed to be a really visually compelling way to showcase Mars and showcase what it can be about. And that will inspire people to become explorers and pioneers of the final frontier. So our vision as a project is to catalyze the will of humanity to become multiplanetary. So there needs to be an increase. There needs to basically be this idea of Mars should be a shared dream amongst people. I believe that Mars should be the top 10 things that we talk about as a culture. And people should want to go there because it's going to be a really positive thing for humanity. So yeah, our goal is to continue to build out this story, to encourage people to become a part of it through playing the game, learning about the science, building a life on Mars. Our ultimate ambition with this is to make it a really immersive thing, to really lean into the 3D gameplay. We're making a really cool map that's based on, we're basing the map on the high resolution images from Mars. So our base will be on a real location on Mars, which may or may not have been hinted at in the last AMA. And so it'll be cool. Like, you'll feel like you're actually there, and you'll be using the technology, the equipment, the vehicles, spacesuits that we believe are the most accurate representation of an implementation of space technology, using the right materials, using the right proportions, the right resource inputs and outputs. So it'll be a very immersive, Mars experience. And our goal is to have a balance where it's not overly technical. It's not overly, like, I guess, for a lack of a better word, boring. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be interesting. And of course, this is all blockchain based. So you're earning cryptocurrency along the way, and expanding your collection. You're owning things forever via NFT technology. There's going to be new ways that we're integrating NFT technology into this to enable more features. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we're headed. I would think of the project, of course, started at the beginning of 2021 last year. Last year was really a year for us to grow the team. Our team's a lot bigger now. We have aerospace experts, we have architects, a strong community, tens of thousands of people in our community. We have full-time game developers, we have full-time game designers, an entire UX team, people doing R&D for us. So 2021 was really the year to grow the team, to really get set on the right track. And 2022 for us is really executing the game, making it something really special, getting it out into the world, getting people playing, strategizing, understanding the science. And then 2023 and beyond is really like, let's get this more immersive, more 3D, utilize some of the top, game engines and distribution methods to really get this out to larger audiences. So yeah, that's how we're thinking. We're working on this day in, day out, thinking about it all the time. And yeah, we're really excited to produce this. And thank you everyone for making this possible by supporting us and helping us kind of along on this mission.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's extremely interesting, and I have no words right now. Okay. Yeah. So thanks a lot. So the questions finally were quite straight to the point and were a little bit faster. So maybe we can take a look at the comments. If there is, I saw a few of them passing through during the video. Yeah. Yeah, someone is promoting his ownership.
See, that's what we like. Yeah, get the adverts in there.
So I think I saw one question about exchanging. Yeah. Will it be possible to exchange? Where was it? Will we have the option to sell the excess resources for Martia? Or will it be used for own items or cards? To own, I guess.
Yeah. So for that, resources in Martia are the key drivers of this Mars economy. So there'll be different ways to produce and spend resources and Martia token. There would be new ways to potentially get new NFTs, new types of NFTs. But our goal is to really continue to expand the gameplay so that there's more ways for people to use their collection in establishing like a life on Mars and establishing more expansion of the Mars map and the base. So yeah, there will be a lot of ways to do it in the game, and we'll just continue to build on that.
Any news from Ellen?
Not yet, but there's definitely something on the radar that eventually we'll get there. Like I was saying before, there's a lot of work for us to do on the gameplay side. Staking should be released mid-February, like we were saying, and we'll just continue to build this. And there'll be a right time for us to reach out and start getting more marketing around this, and that should be coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, not really got anything else to add.
Yeah, lots of comments about my cat. Okay. Yeah, she's gone now, so okay.
Should we do the giveaways?
Yes, I guess.
Giveaways.
Yeah, hello. Thanks. Okay. Okay. So we can start the giveaway. So we will have 3 winners amongst the people who submitted questions. Okay. So I will launch it. That's okay. Okay.
Who's it gonna be?
Does it ever stop? It's a bit jerky.
Yeah, that's a bit. Yeah, the system seems to have some. Hopefully, it will stop. Decide about someone. Whoa, that's slow. Maybe if I suppress.
Oh, okay.
So first winner is Broccoli. Yeah, I know that name from the Discord. Okay, so maybe if I take us 3 out of the screen, it will be faster for the second one.
Another one.
No, okay. Whoa, so it. Wow. Okay, so Oops. We had the 3 in one shot. Okay.
Well, yeah, congrats.
Yeah, so broccoli, that's yet. So it's a bit too small on my screen. Yet 90 Deep and Ertugrul. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. Okay, so you will be contacted, the 3 of you in Discord, to get your Wax Wallet address so that we can send you your prize. So thanks a lot again, Hunter and Tom. And we will have AMA more often this year anyway. And so I think it was said it's mid-February that we will go into staking with strategies that still need to be finalized.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So thank you. Thank you. And thank everyone. Have a nice evening or morning or afternoon. And see you in the Discord in a few minutes. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.